I'm Like Chiang, Human Rights Defenders and Executive Director at KISPED Kenya. And I'm here to know what Defenders Coalition is doing to ensure that human rights defenders and community at large are getting access to information on matters of COVID-19 and are keeping safe from infection.
Thank you, Liki, for that question. Defenders Coalition notes that it is important for citizens to get information. We do appreciate that the government has spent resources to ensure that Kenyans get the right information on how to manage COVID-19. Defenders Coalition has been doing a number of things to address COVID-19 in regard to human rights defenders. One, we've been sharing tools online on how they can remain safe. We developed guidelines for human rights defenders to follow. We did murals in strategic communities in Nairobi, especially the informal settlements. We've continued to hold tweet chats online so that those who are visible on social media can engage. And of course, we deployed monitors who went to communities within their localities and shared the 5 steps of washing hands, social distancing, and everything that the government has stated. We have also encouraged defenders to form groups on social media where they check up on each other on a daily basis. In the morning, you call each other, you post what you're doing, but you also post information that you come across which will help a fellow defender to keep safe.
My name is Salma Hemet. I work with Haki Africa from Mombasa. We have seen an escalation of violation of HRDs in doing their work during COVID-19 pandemic. What is Defenders Coalition doing in ensuring HRDs at risk like me are able to do their work safely?
Thank you, Salma, for that very important question. Anyone who identifies themselves as human rights defenders should be ready to face certain risks and threats. And these threats comes from both state and non-state actors. Defenders Coalition exists to support different categories of human rights defenders. We do support indigenous human rights defenders, women defenders, people working with SOGI communities, human rights defenders working in extractives, and any other field of human rights. It falls within our mandate. These categories of defenders face different risks. For example, we have seen an increase on women defenders being targeted online. They are bullied, they are trolled, and what we do, we come in to sensitize them on what their safety and security would look like online. We have defenders, especially from the IP community, who have been dealing with issues of land rights. Their threats are totally different. People will be followed, people will be surveilled, others will be arrested. So the Defenders Coalition has come in to bail any defender who has been arrested in the line of duty. Defenders Coalition commits that anytime, anywhere in this country where a defender is at risk, we will always stand with them. Call us and we will come to support you.
My name is Hussein Khalid. I work with Haki Africa in Mombasa. Many regulations on public health have been gazetted by the government without proper consultation with Parliament. These include the mandatory wearing of face masks in public places. As a result, the move by government has created a gap that could potentially put or see human rights defenders at risk. What has the coalition done to ensure that human rights defenders are free from these risks and that the government does not target them specifically because of their work?
Thank you very much, Hussein, for that question. While we acknowledge and appreciate the directives that the government have given on social distancing, wearing of masks, and ensuring that we wash our hands as regularly as possible, it is important to note that some of these directives have been weaponized by some state actors. Specifically, the police have been very aggressive in harassing some of our human rights defenders by virtue of them, they claim, were not wearing masks. In this time and age, every Kenyan knows the importance of wearing a mask. And I want to believe a human rights defender is a person who is dedicated in ensuring that they follow the law, and therefore wearing a mask should not be a problem to them. But we have about 3 cases of human rights defenders who have been arrested, harassed by police officers by not wearing a mask. Secondly, the issue of social distancing cannot be applied equally in all communities. So what we are asking is that even as these directives are being given, there is need to consider the environment that people are operating under, because our human rights defenders find themselves operating in environments where applying some of these directives may not be possible.
My name is Edith Adhiambo from Kibera, and I would love to ask you a question. Due to coronavirus pandemic, many HRD families have lost their sources of income that cannot even afford the basic commodities that address the containment of the diseases such as soap and water. What is Defenders Coalition doing to support them?
Thank you for that question. We do understand that beyond human rights defenders, many families have been affected, and this might continue as long as the pandemic is on. So one of the things that Defenders Coalition has done is to support networks of human rights defenders to learn how to produce liquid soap. And beyond distributing the liquid soap within their communities, the defenders have started making little resources out of the soap that they are selling. And this is something we are encouraging other defenders to try and venture into, so that you have soap to use at home, but you also have extra soap that you can sell outside your family and within your community. Secondly, Defenders Coalition has provided PPEs to human rights defenders. In this way, then we save these defenders money they could have used to buy their own PPEs. They channel that money to buying food, buying water, or any other basic commodity that they require in their homes. Other things that Defenders Coalition have been doing include provision of food for victims of floods in Nyando specifically and other areas, but we've also been giving airtime to human rights defenders to facilitate their reporting cases to us, but also ensuring that they keep in touch with their families and friends. For more information, visit www.defenderscoalition.org or follow us on our social media pages.